I've been consistently getting asked why my videos are not getting any views, why they're getting no impressions, and why they're just stuck without getting pushed into the algorithm. So, in today's video, I'm going to break down one of the most important topics and questions that you should know because when doing YouTube automation, you need to understand fundamentally how it all works, how the algorithm reacts, what it wants, what it doesn't want. And also, by the end of the video, I'm going to show you something that I almost guarantee nobody here knows. It is the one thing that could be withholding you from getting so many more views and also could be hindering you from ever going viral. And if you don't know about this one secret little trick, then it could actually be the difference between you making a lot of money and you spending a lot of money without making anything in return. Now, some of you may know this, but I promise most of you will not. So make sure to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to expose it in the next few minutes. So let's start off with the main thing, which is what are impressions? All right, let's just go straight to the basics. All right, why your content's getting no impressions, no views? So, an impression is essentially how many times your thumbnail was shown to somebody on YouTube. So, as you're scrolling on YouTube, you're giving away impressions. When you're mindlessly scrolling up and down, you're giving random people impressions. That is YouTube showing your content to someone else with the intention to be watched. And if it's not watched, then it just counts as an impression and that's it. Now, the impression is broken down into two different parts, which is the thumbnail and the title, right? Now, mostly the title. The title is really where YouTube decides where your video will go. It's based on the metadata. And the metadata, by the way, is your title, your description, and what's said in the first 30 seconds of your video. That's what consists of metadata, right? Your title is essentially going to tell YouTube where it should be placed. If it's going to be placed on the home screen, if it's going to be placed on a suggested, on the search, your title is the metadata which determines where your videos go, right? So now from there, the next metric that's important is the click-through rate, the CTR. This is essentially how often somebody seen your video on their screen and actually clicked on it to watch. That's the click-through rate. So the rate at which someone sees the content and actually decides to watch it. Now, those are the basics, the fundamentals. Many of you guys already knew this. That's fine. Let's move into the next thing, which is understanding how YouTube actually shares our content. It's so important to understand how YouTube works because many people will look at YouTube and say, okay, I'm being punished. My content's not going anywhere. Something's wrong with my channel. Actually, let's take a detour here. I've heard down the grapevine that some people have been talking about the methodology of posting 15 videos. And then once those 15 videos are posted, if you don't have any traction, say you don't get over 1,000 views or something, you should scrap the channel, delete the videos and create 15 more and just keep doing this and repeating the cycle until something works or something like that. That is the most insane thing that I've ever heard. That is basically like trying to completely avoid taking responsibility for your content not being good enough for YouTube to get shown. All right. That is the worst possible thing that you can do. Because truthfully, when I try and diagnose why a channel is not working, the last thing I look at is the channel broken? That is literally like the last case scenario. You need to realize that your content is not getting shown for many different reasons, whether it's the topic, the timing of the topic, the thumbnail, the title, the intro, the overall editing, the script format. There's so many variables that are actually mattering versus I posted 15 videos, they didn't go viral, and there must be something broken with the channel. It must be someone else's fault, not mine. You realize how that's such a backwards way of thinking, and it's literally just revoking and relinquishing taking any responsibility for your content not being the right kind of content that should go viral, right? Now, there are some circumstances where you post insanely high quality content. It's amazing. There's no reason for it not to go viral. That's a different story. We can start reverse engineering that and saying maybe there's something wrong with the YouTube channel itself. Maybe there's something with the email that you registered the account with. Maybe it had some stuff in the past and Google is actually taking that into account. It's such a rare instance, like a 1% situation why channel is not working. So if anyone is telling you to post 15 videos and if it's not working, restart, and don't listen to that person. Straight up. I don't care what anyone says. Don't listen to those people. They're just trying to rationalize in a much more simple way why something's not working versus working from the root and breaking it down to identify the real issue. But anyways, I digress. Let's move on to how our content actually gets shared. How does the YouTube algorithm actually work and where does our content go? Who does it get shown to? And what is the whole process that YouTube goes through to share our content for it to go viral? So many of you are going about doing YouTube without actually realizing how it works, right? How the algorithm works. I'm going to show you with a simple diagram. By the way, ChatGPT, thank you for the very, very simple text to image display. So basically the way YouTube shares views and how it shares their content is by working in tiers. So as soon as you publish a video, YouTube will use the metadata, title, description, first 30 seconds of the video to identify what the video is about and who it should be sent to, right? YouTube is very, very intelligent. They know exactly who your ideal customer is, who your ideal viewer is, because YouTube has data on us. YouTube knows more about us than we know about ourselves because it's owned by Google, and Google knows all of our viewing behaviors, our buying behaviors. They know. So they basically grab all that data and then use it to find your ideal viewer. That's essentially how that works. Now, you will start off in a small tier, right? YouTube will unlock a specific amount of impressions to your videos for it to get seen. Based on the performance of those impressions, it will determine if you unlock the next tier, right? So the performance being your video was shown to a group of people. Did those people, A, click on your video, B, engage with the video, and C, continue watching more content, right? Those are 3 indicators of you being able to unlock a larger tier, right? That is as simple as it gets. Now, YouTube will continue to unlock more and more tiers as it continues to perform well. But the caveat here is that if it doesn't perform well, that is when you see a flat line. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. It continues to show more and more and more tiers based on performance of the specific tiers that you're in now. So it just unlocks a larger and larger and larger audience group until your video ends up going viral in the largest audience group and goes into the millions and millions and millions. But even at that point, you can reach a very high tier and still end up flatlining, because at the largest tier, maybe your audience ends up not engaging with the content the way it did before, and it flatlines. Now, this doesn't mean that the video is dead if the video flatlines, right? There's still things that we can do, something that we call active optimization, right? Taking content and actively optimizing it. So essentially, changing the thumbnails, changing the titles, working backwards and trying to identify what went wrong. If the video itself underperformed, meaning the average view duration was very, very small, that already means that the video was just unlikely to go viral. But if it got a lot of average view duration, right? If you got like 30, 40% plus, but the click-through rate was very low, that means there's still an opportunity for the video to go viral. You can easily save and salvage that video, right? Just fix the click-through rate, improve the thumbnail, improve the title, right? So that is exactly how this algorithm works. Many of you did not know this, right? And you need to know this. You need to understand how this game works if you're going to play it. You can't just play a game without understanding the rules, right? So I want to share this diagram. Now, I'm going to get into something very, very, very interesting, okay? I'm going to show you guys restricted mode. This is a new feature that has come out from YouTube very recently, and it has really made a big, big impact on new channels and just existing channels as well, but specifically new ones, right? Because YouTube needs to understand where they should push your content and is it even appropriate for viewers. If you're going into niches like celebrity, like police chases, car crashes, this is very risky content. Anything to do with drugs, sex, paraphernalia, accidents, violence. You need to be very, very careful because YouTube has automatically enabled this restricted mode for everybody, right? This means that your content is not actually going to get shown to everybody until you pass clearance, right? Until you can show YouTube that the content that you're posting is within the terms of service. And when you're ranking your content, you're ranking it accordingly, right? Because if you say there's no violence in your content, but there is, YouTube knows, and they're going to start valuating your channel lower and lower and lower, showing your content to less people. That's how that works. So especially as a brand new channel, they don't know who you are. They don't trust you. You have to gain trust. Let me show you exactly what restricted mode is. I'll read an article here first of all, and then I'll show you it in real, and then I'll show it to you in real time. So YouTube content in restricted mode, all right? Restricted mode is turned off by viewers on default. Now, what does this mean? It works by basically giving viewers better control over the content that they see. This mode intentionally limits your YouTube experience. Now, viewers can choose to turn it on for their personal accounts, but it also may be turned off for like libraries, schools, so all these other places where you're supposed to be, could be getting views. Now, how does it actually work? There's 2 reasons why a video could be unavailable. Here's the key. It's unavailable when in restricted mode. Primarily, the automated system checks signals like the video's metadata, title, and language used in the video, and some videos may not be available in restricted mode because human reviewers applied an age restriction. Now, let me break this down a little bit further. this is the thing here. Will my content be shown if viewers have restricted mode turned on? Now, videos that show potentially adult content won't be shown to viewers who have restricted mode turned on. Drugs and alcohol, sexual situations, violence, mature subjects, profane and mature language, indecency and demeaning content. This is the key, all right? And it's actually quite similar, but it's different than the age-restricted content. But this is one other filter that YouTube has added, which actually restricts our abilities to get our videos shown to large audiences or audiences in general. Like your videos will literally not show up on your page. Let me show you an example. All right, here's a new channel. This is not mine. Here's a brand new channel that's posted, all right, 6 videos, as you can see here. 6 videos, boom. To the naked eye, it looks fine, right? But let's turn on restricted mode. Only 2 videos. This is what's withholding so many people from getting views. They have no idea that they're being handicapped and being rid of their opportunity to make views on YouTube simply because their content is labeled as restricted. And it will not tell you. You cannot go to the back end of YouTube in the analytics and look and see this is restricted. It doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you. So you just have to have this filter on to see what's happening and then reverse engineer those videos to see what made them restricted, right? What can I not do in the future videos to not trigger the restricted content. So this happens for lots of different niches. You can see here, this channel has 22 videos, and let's turn on restricted mode on this channel. All right, so we have 4, 8, 12. That's it, I'm at the bottom. Only 12 videos. So 10 videos are not being shown, right? Now, this one as well, 11 videos. Let's turn on restricted mode. We have 4, 8, 9. So only 2 videos. It's actually not that bad. This one as well, 129 videos. I'll save you guys the counting. If I turn this on, it's not 129. It's like 40 videos, literally like 42 videos out of 129. Half of this person's content is not getting shown. Now, I want to make another public statement here. It's not that the content's not being shown. It's never going to get shown. The issue with restricted content is that most people have it on without realizing. And number 2, this means that anyone who's not actually logged into a YouTube account and registered that they're over the age of 18 will not see your content. It just doesn't get shown, right? Because YouTube doesn't know how to actually rank it and whether that content's actually allowed on YouTube. So this is just a very, very quick, brief dive into how the algorithm works, what are impressions and why do they influence your channel and why you're not getting impressions, the restricted mode, and how the tier system works. Again, a super basic breakdown, but it was a lesson that needed to be had because I've just been getting asked so many times, why is my content not getting pushed and how does the whole algorithm work? So I figured I'd just create a super quick video, super short, and just break it all down for you guys. Now, if you guys haven't already, I do encourage you to join my free school community because number 1, it is free. And number 2, I've given away an entire free course on how to actually do YouTube automation the correct way with giving you tons of different niches, all my AI tools. And we also host 1 free call a week, which I'm actually about to do 2 free calls every single week with me and my other coaches where we'll literally answer all your questions, break down channels, strategies, so much cool things. And again, it's all free. So link in the description for this. And if you also want to work with me personally one-on-one, I'll have another link in there. You can book a call, see if it's a good fit. It is a paid mentorship. It is a 4-figure investment, but we guarantee all of it back within 6 months. I'll see you guys on the next video.